Welcome to DeerScape, where big bucks, better habitat, and land that lasts all come together. From food plots to trophy shots, bring your acres to life.
Hello everybody, welcome to DeerScape. We're super excited to have you here at the start of our new YouTube channel. I'm Dustin behind the mic and Allie's behind the camera, and we're your founders. Just want to give you a little bit about us, a little intro to what DeerScape is and kind of what we offer. So DeerScape started in 2025, but really the story of DeerScape goes much earlier than that. So for about the last 7 to 10 years or so, I've been guiding hunts and really been offering, habitat management plans, herd quality and herd health plans, just overall advice in the whole spectrum of the hunting world. And people always ask, why don't you charge for this information? It's really, really good. You seem to be able to put us on mature animals quite often. And, I got to thinking about it, and, I'd always say, I'd push it off and say, oh, maybe I'll do it sometime. And really, I got to think about it. Why not? There's no better time than now. So that's really kind of how we got our start and what we'll be going moving forward. I just want to take this section and go over our goals. Our goals as a business and our goals as individuals. So on the business side, our motto is bring your acres to life. And really a goal of DeerScape is to leave every piece of land better than we found it, and to make the goals of each one of our clients come true or become that much more easy to obtain. That starts at the soil level, as far as making that soil a whole lot better for every critter, not just the deer. Moving on to the habitat as far as around the soil, and everything that uses that and encompasses that. Moving on to some individual goals of ours. Our individual goals is to leave a legacy, and a legacy of information for people to find in the future. For youngsters like myself that had never had somebody that to mentor them in the hunting industry, really had to use online platforms, or listen to the generations before me talk, or even some younger guys than me talk, and pick up information and apply it in the field. Another goal of ours would be to obtain more land, because I do believe that is the best investment you can make, and it's also something that I can leave my sons, and friends, and anybody that's around us memories with, to cherish the rest of their lives. Now let's go over the services that DeerScape offers. You can find our services at www.deerscape.us. That is our website, and really the best way to get a hold of us. On that website, you're going to see our different menu tabs as far as Meet the Crew, Services, Testimonial, and also Properties for Sale. Allie is a real estate agent, and she does sell properties. So going into our service tab there, you're going to get a full rundown of everything that we offer, and you're also going to see our 3 different packages that we offer. So basically our packages are Foundation, Thrive, and Legacy. And that Foundation package is going to be your package that's really kind of for the person that has it pretty much figured out, but just needs a little bit of a different perspective. It's going to be your online eval there, answering on maybe a Zoom call, stuff like that. Really just kind of a basic intro into different habitat practices and stuff like that. Then we'll move into the Thrive package, and that Thrive package is really kind of where things ramp up, as far as me coming in person, walking the land, giving you a full in-depth plan as far as soil health, what to plant, when to plant, food plots, TSI recommendation, bedding recommendation, really a whole overall comprehensive consultant plan that goes over everything. And also include that, you're going to get a full written down plan that's fully written out for you to follow, with maps and aerial imagery. Also included that will be emails and follow-up questions. Moving on from that will be the Legacy package, and the Legacy package will include everything that the Thrive package offers, but it also has me implementing that plan for you. So I can get in on the heavy equipment, I can punch out the food plots, I'll pretty much do everything that you want me to do physically, and go from there. It also includes the follow-up emails, everything like that. So that basically goes over our services. As far as our packages go, some different services that we also offer will be like drone services. We have a thermal drone. That's really good for surveying your land, seeing where the deer are bedded, how they're using your land, um, spotting a good buck to doe ratio, also seeing, the way they're moving about your land. And, we do want to be careful with that though, as far as, you don't want to use that as far as taking away the practice of hunting itself. So, really, we just try to use that as far as a useful tool, as far as making your land and your habitat better. All right, moving right into our first video here, we're going to go over early summer scouting. And so, early summer scouting is a good time to go out, figure out what crops are in the ground, figure out where you want to hunt as far as targeting areas, kind of what pressure is looking like, what the deer herd's looking like, kind of the way they're moving. And we live here in the Central Plains region. So, really, your South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, parts of Missouri, and we've been really getting out and getting scouted on those. So, we went out and scouted Kansas because I did draw an archery tag in Kansas. And what we're seeing is that the deer are in the early successional areas, spots of the ground where the sunlight's reaching the ground in those timbered and those bedding areas, eating those early successional plants. And they're really starting to move from that onto soybean and cornfields. So, in this video here, I have a young buck that we found. He's got good potential, and he's here eating in the soybean field. And the weather lately has been really rainy, and I'm not going to complain about the rain too much because we're actually really excited to have it here after being in a drought the last couple years. But we're really needing the warm temperatures to come to really see a boost in those soybean plots that'll really draw the rest of the deer in. I've noticed on my trail cameras, also on some public land in Nebraska, that they're really hammering those early successional pieces of the timber where the sunlight was reaching in. But once that canopy evolved and all those trees, leaves came in, they really moved out of that. And then I could tell instantly when the corn and the soybeans went into the ground because that deer movement just stopped on my camera. And really, they're really moving off into those big food plots areas and where they're getting the high nutrition of food. And soybeans is that food source that they're going to choose every time. Between soybeans and alfalfa, I don't think that you put those two side by side over anything else. I really don't think they're going to choose anything else if it's available, and the palatability of it at that time is exactly what they need. So that give us a little bit of what our scouting looks like. Some tips that I can give you as far as summer scouting. Really go out. If you have a tag in an out of state area, really try to put that time in and go scout that area. For one, it's going to tell you what crops are in the ground at that time because the farmers all rotate those. So, I like to figure out if it's corn or if it's soybeans, if it's going to be sorghum, if it's going to be milo, millet, whatever it's going to be. I really want to know winter rye. I want to know what it's going to be in there so that I can plan accordingly. And a good feature on the Onyx app that I use is I take a picture of that area and I also put in there the notes of what it's planted and the year that it's planted. And that really helps me plan my hunts. And I think that could be a good tip for you moving forward. Also talking about kind of the deer herd and what we're seeing with the deer in the Central Plains right now. I'm seeing videos of fawns starting to drop. So guys, be careful when you're mowing. Get out there, walk the fields. People, if you see a deer out there and its mother's not around, please do not pick that deer up. She's probably bedded that thing down, out feeding, and it's part of the process of that the protection for that deer. Those coyotes and stuff and those predators are going to see that doe, and they're going to know that's that time of year when fawns are on the ground. So she really beds them down. And a lot of times, if it's a healthy herd, she'll have twins or triplets, and she'll bed them all separately. So if you see those fawns on the ground, please leave them alone. Let them know that the mom's going to come back and do the job well. As far as antler growth, antlers are starting to grow. We really need kind of that warm temperature to get those, like I said, get those soybeans and get those crops really going. But antler quality looks to be pretty good this year. The growth seems to be pretty good. We'll see. It's been really wet and rainy, so maybe it slowed it down a little bit. But I think with some good sunlight and some warmer temperatures coming, I think we'll really start to see that antler growth really start to kick off.
This section of questions is brought to you by Bergie Bowsmith, creating better bow hunters.
Alrighty, on to our listener submitted question portion. First, I just want to give a shout out to Bergie Bowsmith. Bergie and I met out in the field hunting, and really became good friends since then. He is by far one of the best, if not the best, bowsmith in the country going right now. He has been on podcasts like Eastman's Elevated, has his own YouTube channel, and he will teach you anything and everything to do with your bow. The tuning of his bows and on my bows speak for themselves. He's touched every one of my bows. He's put new strings on that don't stretch. He's made them much better timed, and really taken a worry off of me, knowing that my bow is going to perform its best at all times. A good way to submit questions for us is to do it on our website. You go to the contact portion, and we're going to select questions from there each week during our videos, and we're going to put them at the end of our videos and answer questions from you, the listeners, or you, the watchers. So jumping right in, we're going to go to our first question from Craig in Owensboro, Kentucky, and he's asking, what states and tags do we plan on hunting this year? Good question, Craig. And just want to mention that in the future, we'd like to give hats or shirts to each question that we pick. And we're just waiting for a good merchandise dealer to get with us and to deliver a product that we believe in to be good quality. But going back to his question, we're going to hunt several different places this year. I'm hoping for an archery elk tag in Colorado to lead it off. Going right in from there, I'll have Nebraska, Kansas, and then I have a secret state that I'm going to hold on to, but I'm going to say it's north of Kansas somewhere. And basically, the whitetail also hunts are going to go into Kentucky as well. So Kentucky, Kansas, Nebraska, a different state to be named, which also might be a mule deer / archery whitetail hunt. And then to round out the year, also Arizona mule deer hunt. So that's the hunts that we are going to go on this year as far as big game. But we also like to hunt pheasant and duck and stuff like that as well. All right. Moving to question number 2, Cody from Fort Morgan, Colorado asks, do you believe adding a water hole or a plastic lined water hole next to or nearby a stand will make it attract more deer? Good question. And really, I've got kind of some different beliefs on this. It's been a really popular phase lately of adding water holes to and around stands that you're sitting in, because it attracts more deer, more bucks during the rut, or some certain things that I hear. My belief on this is that if it forces you to put unnecessary pressure or an intrusion on that property to go in and fill that every couple weeks, I don't think that's helping you. Now, if you place it in an area that you have a well and also have a float on it, like a lot of the cattle tanks have, and it naturally fills itself even on a good sloped bank, then I believe, yeah, that could be a great way of going about it. But as far as going in and filling a plastic lined pool that the big craze is doing, I don't believe that that's a good way of going about bringing deer to water. I do believe in adding water and that naturally fills up and naturally holds. I believe that that's a good way of improving your habitat. And if you can do that with minimal invasiveness of your property, I believe that you're going to be able to shoot that more mature buck that you have targeted. Alrighty guys, well that does it for our first YouTube video here on the channel. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said before, we should be pumping out one video a week or more, and we really look forward to this journey and having you guys along with us. So as always, like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow and helps get that information out to everybody else. Thanks guys, and I'll see you again next week.
We appreciate you watching DeerScape. Subscribe for more hunts, more stories, and more time in the woods. Until next time, aim true.